Hi Aries, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your Deep Love Read. I'm going to be doing a Deep Love Read for singles as well as those in either a relationship or complicated situation. I'm going to be doing the singles and the relationship ones read separately. I'm going to first start with some astrology. What's going on in the sky with Venus right now that we should all know. So definitely do listen to the few minutes of that. I'm going to timestamp when the single starts as well as the relationship. But guys, for context, listen to the first couple of minutes. It's not a whole lot. I'm really just going to be focusing primarily on what's happening with Venus. So, excuse me, for Aries, for you guys, on February 6th into the 7th, okay, kind of dropping into there. Venus is going to be moving into your 11th house, where it's going to be there with Saturn. It was in the 10th house up to that point, but the 6th into the 7th goes into the 11th, where Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, who's retrograde, is going to be hanging out. The sun, so there's going to be a lot of focus here on the 11th house. I mean, the 11th house is many things, but for the purpose of this reading, let's understand it as your goals and what it is that you ultimately want, right? And so, having to do with relationship, because the 11th house also has to do with friendships and friends turning into lovers and lovers becoming friends, and it works opposite and in tandem with the 5th house of romance, of falling in love, of the act of sex, all of that. So, something to pay attention to. There's a lot of energy going on in there, a lot of energy, a lot of reevaluating, reassessing things. There's going to be a focus, right? Mercury's about the communication, Sun is the focus. Venus is asking the big questions. How do I feel in this? What, are things equitable? Tapping into, because Venus has to do with love, it has to do with money, it also has to do with self-value and sense of self-worth. And it's going to be in there with Saturn conjunct Jupiter. So, first of all, they're all conjunct, first of all. I mean, so it's like a mega stellium in there. But, Saturn is about paying attention to the way things should be. Right? It's about rules, right? And Jupiter is just wanting to focus on expanding something. So don't be surprised if you end up having this feeling of, I really want things to be a certain way, but I can't quite get them there just yet. And a lot of that also has to do with Venus is going to be Ceci square the North Node for you guys in your 9th house. So just so you know what a Ceci square is, I don't want to confuse you guys, but a Ceci square is a minor aspect. It's just 135 degree apart between these energies. But it's a minor challenge, which makes it a lot, because it's a challenge, it makes it easier to suppress it, right? But harder to learn from. So it's like this smoldering kind of conflict where something's kind of eating at you kind of thing, having to do with how you believe something should be, how you think something should roll out. So something like may feel a little off in your love life right now, right? And it's because of that. Now it's also semi-square the South Node. Right, and that's happening in your 3rd house. So semi-square, 45 degree, another minor aspect, but it can cause this kind of friction internally, externally, that makes you want to take some sort of action to reduce that friction. And it's in your 3rd house of communication. So even though Mercury is going to be retrograde, you're going to feel prompted to have a conversation that you feel is quite pressing. Now, I think it's worth mentioning, and I hardly ever mention this, but the transiting Libra point, which really does prompt change and powerful initiation, but also while not really wanting confrontation, is going to be happening in your 7th house of serious relationships. So it's partnerships in general, but again, this is within the confines of keeping it about love. 7th house would be marriage, or anyone that where you're in a situation where you have any sort of contractual agreement with, anything like, so you could be living together and not married, but you have some sort of contractual agreement, right? So the Libra point, again, power, there's change there. You're going to feel a strong gumption to initiate change, but at the same time, you don't want to rock the boat. You don't want to really, so there's going to be this, don't be surprised if you feel this element of like, I want to engage and I want to fix something because I feel like something's not right, but I don't really feel like maybe I really fully want to bother right now, because you may be in a space of feeling like a little afraid of what that ultimate outcome might be. And you're just not sure if you want to take that on at this point. Okay. So that's for all of you. So just keep in mind, whether you're single, whether you're in some sort of other relationship, complicated situation. Okay, so let's pull a couple of crowning cards. So we're going to start with Wisdom of the Oracle, and then we'll go into the healing energies. Okay, let's pull. Okay, Serendipity. So something very serendipitous is happening right now, which I do like. You know, serendipity. I mean, this is totally all about that, right? Those of you guys, listen to me. Those of you who listen to the February astrology that I did. You know, Mercury retrograde. Could you tell Mercury rules my chart? Mercury retrograde. According to Jungian psychology, he always considered Mercury retrograde. Yes, Jung was very into psychology, into astrology rather. He always considered Mercury retrograde to be very serendipitous, you know, to bring very serendipitous events to the forefront. So I kind of like that for you guys. So things are going to be happening. Nothing's going to be by accident. Oh, temptation. Hello. Aries. Okay. So temptation is going to be a situation having to do with something going on in your life, whether it's you, whether it's the person that you're dealing with, whatever the situation is. All right. So let's get going on to our single friends. Single friends. Let's see what's going on. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus are single right now. Currently single. 10 of Pentacles, very nice. Must be the Page of Pentacles. Ace of Wands. You're just doing you. You're just being you. I see somebody coming in though. You're going to be meeting somebody. But I'm laughing because you're just like, if it's not what you really want, like if it's not 100% speaking to you, you're going to be like, I don't know if I want to bother. You know, we have the Three of Wands in the recent past coming into this energy, and it's really about wanting to just leave the past behind. Whatever you went through in the past, it's done. Toothpaste is out of the tube. This is a Sun and Aries energy, fresh path, new perspective. That's what your focus has been on. It's really moving forward, right? I mean, that's what this is. You know, but the thing is here, when we get the Three of Wands, it is ultimately about teamwork and advancement moving forward. So you're getting attention from other people. If you happen to be an Aries that is not getting any attention from anybody up to this point, or who's not able to focus on the future, then this is probably not your reading. So Three of Wands is about being kind of this is such a cheesy word, but almost like called forth, beckoning, beckoned by somebody to move forward, to leave the past behind. Come on, let's go, kind of energy, right? Forward movement, right? This is the only card, by the way, in tarot. We don't see the person. We don't even see the side of their face. It's just their back. It's like, bye. Focus on the future. And you see the light, the illumination is coming from the future, from the front, right? So we have the current situation. We have the Ten of Pentacles, and it's being crossed by the Page of Pentacles, or complemented. Let's see what goes on here. So we have the Ten of Pentacles is a great energy about maturation and really wanting to grow. You may be just totally focused on your work right now, or you may be very focused, right, internally on meeting somebody who you can just settle down and have a family with. There's always think Ten of Pentacles, well, it is one of the will you marry me energies. It's also family. It's legacy. It's like, let's go. Let's do this. Let's deepen this. Let's, you know, connect more deeply. Let's get that home together. Let's start children together. And again, it's that maturation process where it's the energy of building a family, right? But we have this working with the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is, yes, it can indicate a new job. You can be meeting somebody at a new job for sure. That could certainly be what this means for some of you. But the Pentacles, remember, in relationship reads, is mental, physical, and emotional connection as well. It's not only money. And Page means a new cycle. So for some of you, you may be in the space of wanting a new cycle with somebody that you were with in the past. Well, I'm really not getting that. I'm feeling like you're really ready for something new. Very ready. But you're being patient. You've been patient about it. Now, some of you may be in this space where it's two things are true at once, where you're very ready for somebody new, but you're very focused on setting yourself up financially right now. You know, you're ready. It's not that you're not open, but it's not it's not what you're obsessing about right now. It's just not. You have other things going on in your life as well. Now, the crowning energy is the Ace of Wands. So this tells me you're going to be meeting somebody new. Ace is brand new. Wands is not only about creativity, but it's passion. And whatever is coming in, you're going to feel very passionate and motivated about and have a very strong urge to kind of move forward with them. So that's crowning. Beautiful Two of Wands, you're going to be waiting for them to call you. Or you're going to be waiting maybe to call them, right? It's this waiting to make this connection, right? But it's in that making that connection where you guys are you're going to end up realizing that you need to make a choice. Yeah, see, I mean, right now you're the Queen of Pentacles. It's the Queen of Pentacles. You're very focused on your resources. You're focused on connecting. You're focused on growing yourself. It's like, I almost get a feeling that you just very focused on creating a good foundation for yourself moving forward. Maybe you had been in a long relationship, and you're realizing maybe you put all your eggs in one basket with that energy, or you're realizing that you just want to make sure that you're good with you right now before you even open up that door. Super healthy energy, I have to tell you. I really do feel like that. Now, check it out though. The King of Pentacles is the external energy. So yeah, listen, when we get a Queen and a King, this does again another indicator that somebody new is going to be coming in. So we love the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is reliable. And this is somebody who, again, this could be an energy that you're meeting at work. But if it's not that, this is somebody who, first of all, understands the value of $1, is super reliable. Okay, apart from that, this is a reliable energy and connection. This is somebody who can deliver when it comes to connection. Now, this is the external. This is not you. This is an external energy that's going to be influencing you during this time period. Now, what are you afraid of? But what are you hoping for at the same time is the Four of Wands energy. So I want to be honest with you about this, okay? The Four of Wands can be a reuniting energy. You going home to somebody, somebody coming home to you. So you may be in a space of single right now, but maybe it's because you and somebody who you still have feelings for actually broke up. And so while part of you sort of secretly wishes to get back with them, another part of you is like, hell no, I can't do it. It's not going to work, right? So that's how this can work as a hope and fear. Now, for those of you who don't resonate with it like that, this could also indicate that, two things are true at once. You very much want that strong foundation with somebody. This is a Venus and Aries energy. It's a new beginning. It's a new path. But at the same time, you're scared. And that fear could come from just being scared. You might be, just kind of basing the future on the past kind of thing, which, listen, I mean, it's part of the human condition, right? It's kind of strange not to do that, right? So there could be many, many reasons why you might be a little trepidatious about moving forward. Okay, now we have is the outcome energy. We have the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles is a really solid and practical energy. It really is. This is when it comes to relationship, this is somebody who has their act together, who understands the different compartments of relationship. And this is not somebody who lives with their head in the clouds, who's like, all we need is love. Yeah, well, where are you going to live? You need some money, right? We need to communicate. We need to connect. Like, what does that even mean, right? So there's this balance here. There's this solid, practical approach, which I do like, right? However, now this could be, I know, but I always feel like the king and queens are like people, right? So that's why I do feel like the queen is you, and now the knights and pages could be general energetic influences, or it could be another person. And I'm talking about the Knight of Pentacles being very reliable energy, like understanding what's necessary. That could be the general energy that you're vibing about relationship, like what's up and what's necessary for yourself, or you could be meeting somebody like that. But I do see somebody else coming in as the King of Pentacles, because I more often than not, I feel like Queen and Kings represent people, right? Now we have Five of Wands as the final outcome. So there's some ego going on here. Five of Wands is Saturn and Leo. So there could be some issues here going on with, what you want, need, and desire, how you think things are supposed to go versus how somebody else thinks, right? This is a very rivalrous energy. It's like obstacle, it's challenge, it's No, I think things need to be this way. No, 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 they need to be this way. Now, for those of you who are thinking about maybe reconnecting with somebody, this could be a situation where you know if you get back with them, it's not going to be any different. You know this in your heart of hearts, yet maybe there are all these other feelings and emotions connected, that connect you guys. Maybe you have kids together. Maybe, you were with each other for a long time. Maybe there's just that thing, that energetic connection, that karmic bonds, whatever it is. So for some of you who are single, you may be in that space. Others of you, if you're meeting somebody new, if this King of Pentacles is somebody new, you may find, sooner rather than later, that you're in conflict, right? You're in conflict with how you each thinks with the way something is supposed to go. So there's an element of confusion here, but yet there is something that is pulling you very much towards this person. Okay, we have the temptation energy, like even if it may not make sense to you in your mind, is this could be the kind of thing where you said to yourself at a certain point in time, then that my next relationship is definitely not going to have A, B, and C. And I absolutely need somebody who knows how to do D, E, and F, right? That kind of thing. But then you meet this person, you're extremely tempted by them. You're very attracted. So there's this huge temptation, but maybe not everything looks exactly the way that you would like it to look. And there ends up being a battle of the wills, a battle of the egos. Because that's what the fight, look, it's a minor arcana, it's not a big deal, but it's like, look, I think things should be this way. And they're like, no, I think things should be this way. So let me pull some energies on them. Now, this is whoever that energy is. I don't think you've met them yet. I think right now, it's in the middle of January, or towards the end of January, now we are at this point, you may just be sort of like getting your ducks in a row, or this may be somebody who you kind of are, maybe they're the one who was like calling you forth into the future, who you were very tempted by. But let's see what's going on with somebody that you're going to be meeting. Somebody wants to take a chance on you, but they're confused. But they're a King of Cups, yes. Oh, we get the Foundation, we get Death and Rebirth. What? Okay, get the Wheel. Okay, Aries, somebody that you're not with right now. So they have 5 swords coming into this energy. 5 swords is either maybe they just got out of an abusive relationship. If this is somebody from your past, maybe you guys had a very volatile relationship. So you guys aren't together now, right? But this person wants to be with you. We have the Fool energy, which is about fresh hope and taking a chance. New path, new adventure, new. Focus on the future. This is a Uranus energy. And Uranus rules the future. But the Hangman is, okay, so the Hangman is a couple of things. Now, it's interesting. They want to try something with you, but they may be in a space. Now, it depends. They may feel like they're hanging around waiting for you to transition them from friend status to intimate status, to romantic status. Or if you feel like they may be doing this to you, there may be this energy exchange between the two of you where it's like, is it even worth it anymore, right? As the Hangman's a confusing energy because it's Neptune, and Neptune's like trying to look at reality through a thick fog. And sometimes it could even be a smoke and mirror energy. So it's very hard to feel like grounded and like clear on where everything is at that point. But for them, the crowning energy is the King of Cups, which is a very supportive, tolerant, and empathetic energy. It really is, it's a beautiful energy. It's Libra and Scorpio in astrology. Libra is that 7th house of serious relationships. Scorpio is about sex, and it's also about endings and beginnings and transformation and transitioning. So I feel like somebody wants to become more than just your friend, or maybe you want them to become more than just your friend. And it's like there's this weird kind of trying to figure this out. The Foundation, though, is Death and Rebirth. So there's definitely change happening here. Time to move on from where something is and transform it to something else, but they are definitely in a space of protecting themselves, being a little concerned about the long-term security of themselves within this relationship. Now, the external influence that's impacting them right now is the 7 of Cups, right? So external to them, this is about too many choices and commitment issues. So this could be you, Aries, right? This could literally be you, where they're like, oh, it just seems like Aries isn't sure of what they want, because they might have some choices here, right? We have this idea of temptation involved, right? But ultimately, you know, what they would like, but they're afraid that it won't end up happening, is this Queen of Pentacles energy, which is you, showed up as you, right, in the relationship anyway. But this is about connection, mental, physical, emotional connection. They want it, they're afraid of it, right? But here we have the Wheel in the near future, which is all about a turning point and taking a chance. There's a lot of desire to take a chance. And then we have the final card, the King of Pentacles, right? Didn't this show up in your reading as well? Yes, solid and practical energy, understands what needs to happen in a relationship. So I don't know, for those of you who are single, I don't feel like you're going to stay single. And, you know, think about, are you friends with somebody that might end up changing from, you know, status, you know, especially because you guys have all of this energy in your 11th house of friends, you know, so it makes sense to me when I look at your astrology, Aries, those of you who are single, for sure. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me, our singles. And those of you who might be getting back with somebody, if you're thinking about that, you might want to stick around for the complicated. Okay, so let's get into our complicated Aries. So first going to pull in energies on you, and then somebody that you're dealing with. So this is if you're in a relationship, it's just super complicated, or maybe things are totally fine. Let's see how they come up. Priestess, 3 coins, those of you who are tarot readers, if you don't have this deck already, I so highly recommend it. I just started using it on YouTube. I've been using it in my in-person privates up to this point. But it's the Tarot Grand Lux by Sierra Marchetti. Can't tell you how beautiful the card stock is and how easy it is. It's just, anyway, I digress. So beautiful. We have the Queen of Cups here coming into this energy. Queen of Cups is a lovely energy. I mean, this is somebody with absolutely, you are feeling a lot of love for somebody. You're very in a nurturing space, wanting to be very supportive. But the Queen of Cups energy is, as I always say, there's a communication has to go on here, right? In the past, Gemini, because this is Gemini and Cancer energy in astrology. So Gemini is about communication, right? I mean, and Cancer energy obviously is emotions. It's where the cups comes from. And it's about home. And it's about parenting. And it's about you know, feeling safe, grounded, rooted, secure, right? All of those are Cancer energies, and having the conversation about all of this in the past to be able to sort of nurture the situation and to try to heal something. It's a very necessary conversation that was happening in the past, okay? About a couple of those things or all of those things. Obviously, it depends on where you're at in your relationship. The situation right now, Aries, we have the High Priestess energy. So you're feeling and thinking a lot of things internally that you're not discussing. You're in a space of trusting yourself, which is good. But do remember that the High Priestess is associated with the Moon energy, right? So this is very much trying to trust your intuition about what you're feeling and experiencing right now, and it's almost like you're getting your ducks in a row and you're not really discussing it, but you want to make sure that you're basing what you're feeling internally on facts and not on fear, not on your own level of, you know, vulnerability, whatever it is, right? You want to make sure that you're basing what it is on facts, dealing with the current situation. Now, what's crossing this is the Three of Coins, which is a Mars and Capricorn energy. The Three of Coins is about teamwork and collaboration. So you may be in a situation where you're feeling challenged to to actually continue building something with somebody. You are feeling a little vulnerable about this. Now, for some of you, it can literally have to do with money, right? Because it's coin energy. Of course it can, but in relationship reads, it could also mean mental, physical, and emotional connection. So certainly apply it to your circumstance, however you see fit. It might be both, right? Because it's also about wanting to connect, being a team, wanting to emotionally, physically, mentally come together in it, like a collaboration, teamwork kind of thing. But there's a challenge here. You feel like there's a challenge in the situation having to do with your ability to feel very grounded in something. Somebody showing up as an equal partner to you. Now we have as the crowning energy the world, which is about a lesson learned. And there's a completion of a lesson learned here. This is a Saturn energy. And when we hit the world energy, it means there's a completion of a Saturn energy. Something that's been really, really difficult, it's done. There's a completion of the lesson. And now it's time to get the gift. Saturn never leaves without giving us a really challenging lesson. He never leaves without giving us a gift. And that's crowning here, right? So there's some sort of lesson that's been learned. The foundation energy, we have the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is a very bold energy, very charming. It really is about, because in astrology, the King of Wands is a Cancer and Leo energy. So it's about really getting in touch with whatever that is in that home space. Again, metaphorically, home is feeling safe, grounded, secure, all those feelings that are generated from home. Could also be literally home, right? And with the Leo energy, it's about feeling very passionate about something. This could have to do with kids, right? If there are kids involved, this could have to be feeling very passionate about your kids and wanting to be brave for the sake of your children. For others of you, this could be wanting something to work out for the sake of the children. But Leo is also about romance, and it's about, still loving that person and wanting things to work out and wanting to feel safe and secure, to the point where you're very bold and you're very courageous about it, where you're willing to really try to work at something, because there is some sort of lesson learned here. And it's like you're being called to step up here. Yeah, look, we have we have the Ace of Swords here. The Ace of Swords is about literally mental clarity. And this is you, Aries. New idea. Something is occurring to you. Now, with this occurrence, with this mental clarity that you're having about this relationship, comes some sort of new conflict that you're going to have to address. Now, that might be fixing something in the relationship. This might be also, quite frankly, listen, for some of you, if you're making a decision to end something where that's the lesson that's been learned, you're realizing that you can't actually build beyond a certain point with a person, and you're actually doing it, for the sake of yourself, right? Because again, when I said Cancer and Leo is it's fifth house. It's many things. It's what you want. It's what you do because you like to do it. It's romance. It's falling in love. It's children. It's creativity. So if you feel like you're in something that's stifling you from being able to have the life that you want, where it's stifling you, where maybe it's not a healthy thing actually for your children at this point, you may be realizing. Again, general message, right, in this way. We try to get as specific as we can, but, everybody's situation is going to be different, so it could show up like that. But whatever it is, you're getting a lot of clarity about it. But this clarity is going to incite the realization that there's some sort of new conflict that needs to ensue. So perhaps it's actually ending the relationship, or going to counseling to fix it, or everybody's like, okay, but maybe if it has to do with your kids, you really have to take extra care with them. Maybe get your children counseling, right? Or see to it that they're okay. It could show up a number of different ways. Now, the energy external to you that's impacting you is the Four of Swords, right? And the Four of Swords is about somebody, and now external to you, the idea of retreating, trying to recover from something. So you may be dealing with an energy that's retreated from you. It's sort of pulled away. Because they're in a space right now of, it's a Jupiter and Libra energy. Jupiter expands whatever it's in, Libra being the seventh house of marriage and serious partnerships. They're trying to figure out what the right thing is. What's fair, what's not fair? They're trying to figure out what, and that's impacting you. So it's like they're pulling away is allowing you to have some sort of realization. So let's see what the near future is. We have the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords means it's time to compromise and make a decision. Are we going to fix it or are we not going to fix it? What are we doing here? What are we doing? What are we doing? And then we have the Justice energy. So this is where the courts could come in, certainly for those of you in a space where you're making the hard decision to get divorced. But justice is about what's fair, what's not fair, the truth of the situation coming out, what's equitable. This has to do with what's equitable, in the marriage, in the situation. Again, because justice is Libra. Libra is the landlord of the 7th house of partnerships. The glyph is the scales, what's fair, what's not fair. Right? And because the justice has this, inherent association with the courts, it could certainly be that. Now, what's kind of weaving throughout all of this? There's some sort of serendipitous temptation that's kind of come across, either your energy or the person that you're dealing with energy. Now, why do I think this is important? Because I feel like if this is the case, it's almost like, and I know a lot of you are not going to like that I'm saying this, but I have to just say what I'm getting here, what I'm feeling, is it's as though a temptation needed to be presented into either your energy, their energy, maybe both of your energies, okay, in order to shine a spotlight on something that has not been working, if that makes sense. Okay? And so for that reason, it's serendipitous, because it's like things are not bad because of that energy. It's that energy, right? It's because there was something not going well within the relationship, or hasn't going well within the relationship, that this temptation has drawn attention to, where it's like, oh my gosh, they might leave me because of this. I never thought they would, but now I have to pay attention. Maybe let's go for counseling and try to fix this. Or I'm realizing that because I feel tempted by this energy, they feel tempted, that this is not actually as strong as maybe as what it once was, or in the way that we need it to be. And so therefore the answer is maybe we need to end things. And I'm going to give it to you like that, because that is not only what I'm getting, but that is a fair assessment of these cards. So, there were too many Aries out there, ages and stages, for me to just deliver the one straight up, you're all getting divorced. It's ridiculous. Not all Aries are getting divorced. But for sure, what I get is, Aries, there's a lesson learned here. There's mental clarity. Things need to be decided. Are you going to work at it or you're not? I definitely feel like all of you, there has been temptation involved in this circumstance. So let's pull for your partner. Okay, partner that you're dealing with. I know this beautiful Sierra much. Okay. Gilded Tarot. Okay. Look at their situation right now. Lesson learned. Judgment. Wow. 8 of Swords. 8 of Wands. Mm-hmm. Okay. Coming into this energy, we have the Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups energy, look, is romantic love, it's partnership, but it's a proposal. It's but meaning a suggestion, an offering, a conversation, right? It's Venus in Cancer. It's how good do we feel being in this relationship? What do we need to do to keep the home together? What do we, all of those Venus in Cancer energies, looking at how loved does everybody feel, how equitable is everything, and proposing something. There being a proposal of something. in the past. But right now they're in a space feeling like, okay, lesson learned here. Lesson learned. Now it's time, you know, they just feel, yeah. I mean, and it's being crossed by the judgment energy or complemented clarity, final decision, a wake-up call to what they feel is the purpose of this relationship, right? And in the crowning energy, we have the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords is feeling like they don't belong. You know, it's the kind of energy where it's like, did they change? Did you change? Did everybody change? It's just not what it was. Something that felt so right at one point no longer does. And it's this self-imposed isolation, this self-imposed imprisonment, this self-imposed restriction having to do, because it's like they just feel like they don't fit in it anymore. And then the Eight of Wands is a really positive card. I mean, it is, because it's a news coming in that incites quick change. So whatever they've been waiting on hearing. So this could be a message from you. This could be a message from somebody else. This could be, you know, anything like that. But news coming in that incites quick change for them. Now them and only them right now, they're in a Ten of Wands space. Ten of Wands is just like tired. They're so tired. This is stress, exhaustion, feeling really burdened, you know, emotionally, maybe even physically. Just, you know, it's almost, it's like the card of overwhelm, you know. That's where they're at right now. That's where they're at. Now, the external energy that's impacting them, we have the King of Cups energy. King of Cups energy, and keeping it real, because we have the idea of temptation. Now, this could be you wanting to be a very supportive, empathetic source for them right now as you guys heal something, okay? Again, Libra and Scorpio, recognizing that something needs to change, right? Exercising what really needs to be implemented here and being super supportive. It could be that. So that will be coming from you. If that doesn't resonate with you, though, like if you know that that's not the situation, this could certainly be somebody else who is kind of there for them, who's very supportive and very empathetic of their situation right now. Doesn't necessarily mean it's romantic, because this could just simply be somebody who is holding their hand through a transition, if that makes sense, okay? Now we have the Queen of Swords as their hope and their fear. The Queen of Swords is somebody very self-sufficient energy, very honest, somebody who can very much take care of themselves and be okay on their own. Very honest, though. And this is the energy of like the single man or the single woman, you know, able to do things on their own, living their truth. But Aries, I feel like the energy that you're dealing with, they're afraid to live their truth. They're afraid to end things with you. But the near future is we have the Ace of Cups. Ace is brand new. So now Ace, I have to be honest, like Ace can mean a new relationship. It could also mean a new baby. So some of you may be in a space where it's like that's an issue. And there may be a new baby in the works here, or something to do with a new baby in one way or another, or it could simply be a new relationship. Right? Now, because the outcome is the Queen of Pentacles, because not everybody's in the space of having a baby, for goodness sake, right? Right, so you have to apply it as you see fit. So the Ace of Cups could be a new baby or a new relationship or a new offering. This could be a new offering of, will you marry me? Let's get engaged. Let's move in together. Let's, you know, whatever it is, right? This is kind of like fill in the blank, but it has to do with the heart space. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles as the final outcome card. Again, the Queen is about connecting, right? And this is very much about resources, being very resourceful, being very fertile. So I mentioned that. This has to do with domesticity, having to do with the home, connection, home, feeling very connected. So it doesn't matter Queen or King, like gender doesn't matter here. So there's definitely some sort of new offering that's going to be made to them. Now, and I'm going to say this for some of you, The Ace of Cups could actually be a proposal of, let's end this now. Like that they're offering. And I know that sounds very bizarre, though if you resonate with that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't resonate with that, then that's not the interpretation for you. Because sometimes when things are really, really bad, the most loving thing to do is say, let's do this. And then, you know, Queen of Pentacles, them just kind of being resourceful on their own and focusing on, you know, taking care of themselves. Others, it's definitely like this desire to have another relationship and go in another direction, right? But for those of you who are in a space where you're trying very hard to reconnect, that proposal could be, all right, let's sit down and figure this out, and let's get our ducks in a row as far as moving something forward. And you're certainly going to know where it falls here for you. But I want you to know, Aries, that the energy that you're dealing with is currently feeling like they're in the wrong relationship for some reason. You know, maybe you guys are just on different pages. You feel like you're just kind of like two ships where you were at one time on the same path, now you're not anymore, and just trying to figure out like what it all even means, right? But it is, you know, this is what I'm getting. We have two kings. Two kings means a strong partnership. We have this King of Wands, which is very bold, very powerful, very charming, right? In astrology, it's that Cancer and Leo energy. And then we have the King of Pentacles, you know, solid, practical energy, very wise. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of passion here. There's no question. Regardless of where you guys are at, there's a lot of passion. And there's also, I feel like money is playing into this as well. But then we have the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords does indicate that there's going to be some sort of really difficult conversation delivering a lot of truths that's going to end up inciting a lifestyle change. And we have the Queen of Cups. Again, right? Gemini and Cancer. Who needs what? That's how I understand the Queen of Cups, because it's a Gemini and Cancer energy in astrology, right? So Gemini is about communication and learning. And Cancer is all about home. And however you want to resonate with that, having the conversation about the kids at home, about how you guys are going to parent together, right? You know, it could be that, or it could even be what you want, need, and desire to feel very grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. That's a Queen of Cups energy. And then we have the Page of Swords. Some truth coming out. Truthful new cycle. Something that feels more honest to the two of you. And then finally, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is a very patient energy. Very patient. Knight of Pentacles, there can be some good conversation about connection or about how things should go moving forward. So I have to tell you that regardless of what situation you're in, whether you're working it out, it looks like some hard conversations, but it looks like you guys can work it out. If you guys are making the decision to end it, I don't see it being too full of drama at this point. It's going to be for a minute. That Knight of Swords is never any fun to like, because there's like volatile energy flipping back and forth with that, right? There's swords and it's knights and it's delivering the truth and this is my truth and this is my truth, you know, that kind of thing. But things settling up and things ending up being okay. So either way, I hope that was helpful for you guys. For those of you, if you're in a really challenging situation, I'm sorry for what you're going through. But, again, serendipity, it's all happening just as it's supposed to be right now. And, unfortunately, I know you guys don't want to hear that, but that is the truth. Okay, my friends, that's what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. See you next time. Bye-bye.